Both their attention was caught by the sound of quick, confident footsteps approaching, and the Shadowhawk's shoulders relaxed.
"She's here."
Sania's form appeared out of the dimness a few moments later, dark blue eyes watchful, scanning them both for potential danger. One hand rested loosely on the hilt of the knife at her belt.
"Warm night for it, Shadowhawk."
"Sania, this is Garrow."
"You were on the crew last week."
Sania nodded at the young man. Her people had helped them hide the stolen flower until the search for it died down. "Can you walk?"
"Yes, Ma'am."
Taking a deep breath, Garrow stepped away from the wall.
"I'm fine. Just a few bruises and scrapes."
"Then we'd best move before someone notices us all standing around here." Sania glanced at the Shadowhawk. "The flower was distributed last night, to all the store owners you named, minus our cut."
"Pleasure as always," he said. "Take care of Garrow. I'll be in touch."
"Later, Shadowhawk."
He remained wrapped in the shadows under the overhang of the bakery until Sania's and Garrow's footsteps faded from hearing. This area of the market quarter was usually deserted so late at night, all the store owners and market operators gone home to their beds. Yet, despite the darkness, the oppressive heat, and the stench of rotting produce coming from a nearby alley, he felt far more at home here than he ever did up at the citadel, where he pretended to be a prince. Pretended to be just like all the other winged folk, with their disdain for humans and firm belief in their superiority. Even after Sania was long gone, he stayed. As useful as she was to him, he didn't trust her entirely, couldn't afford to trust her. Trust was impossible in his world. He wanted to make sure he was utterly alone before moving on to his next task of the night. The darkness cloaking him ensured he couldn't be seen by anyone passing by. Another talent he'd been born with that nobody knew about. That and his glamour magic had allowed him to don the mask of the Shadowhawk, despite being Prince Cuin a Condor, the worthless young prince of Queen Serana. Footsteps sounded to his left, and he went utterly still. Something about the anticipatory sense in the night air bothered him, made him more cautious than usual. A man came into sight, moving with quick strides down the empty street, shoulders up, eyes alert. The Shadowhawk's gaze went straight to the distinctive grey and white of the wolf uniform he wore. He was alone, and though no obvious threat loomed, the Shadowhawk moved, slipping after the wolf, keeping to the darkest shadows on the edge of the street. Instinct prickled down the back of his neck. He rarely extended his song magic to read or affect those outside his immediate vicinity when he was the Shadowhawk, not willing to risk a winged person in the area sensing it, despite how skilled he'd become at hiding. If that happened, well, then they'd be one step closer to catching him. No human had song magic. And there were few winged folk powerful enough at it to manipulate others into believing they were human. And if he were caught, well, winged man or human, the last Shadowhawk had been executed, and his entire family along with him. Few knew it. It was a tightly held secret within the Condor family and Queen Council members. The executions of the Tantor family had been public, the Queen announcing they'd been caught embezzling Gizerdia profits and calling it treason. None beyond her and the Queen Council members knew that their true crime was helping hide the activities and identity of the previous Shadowhawk. To the humans of Dock City, the criminal that had been helping them had simply disappeared one day. None of them had bothered themselves much about an entire family being executed around the same time. After all, executions weren't all that rare in a world ruled by the Condor family.